Hi everyone, welcome back to the Pot Smoker's Bible. My name is Zion. I'm the author of the Pot Smoker's Bible, which contains the prophetic book of Zion, where I get my name and authority. It comes from the Ketuvim, or Old Testament of the Christian prophecy, or the Christian Bible. I use the King James Version to put together the prophecy of Israel, which I wrote into the book of Zion. In order to publish the book of Zion, which is written entirely in Bible verse, I had to write the Pot Smoker's Bible as a commentary. So, once I did that, I have been posting it online for everyone to view because that's the last thing I had to do in order to fulfill the prophecy of Israel, become Zion, in fact, and thus enjoy the wonderful future that I have in store for me. So, I'm going to take up where I left off last time on the 13th chapter of the Pot Smoker's Bible, which is the 10th chapter of the Book of Zion. And it goes like this. We are reminded that the great plan for my people to smoke marijuana, the plant, it is part of the consumption decree, and it is righteous. Consumption was contracted by inhaling smoke or dust, or COVID-19, a form of lung cancer. Complications from COVID would apply. We pay for our ascension with our health. We damage our lungs by smoking, which makes COVID hard for us to fight. But that is what is written. We are told that the Lord dwells on high. This is, of course, the language of Zion. Zion, i.e. myself, knows this language well. And I know what this passage means. The gray live high. They have no need for marijuana because they produce THC as a hormone, like we produce hormones, like testosterone and any of the other hormones that we produce. Now, we, on the other hand, must use marijuana to activate our telepathy. We don't produce it ourselves. So only when THC is in our bodies that we are able to use our telepathy. We must get high to be where the gray live. I know this because my mind goes quiet when my THC level gets too low. Because my other half has refused to be the prophet, the gray have given me the knowledge of judgment. I know all I need to know to bring judgment to humanity. I have been instructed as to what true justice is, because no man would step forward. I became the prophet of Israel. At this time, when judgment is given to mankind through the prophet Zion, the people she has championed will offer themselves to as a present, so to speak, to the gray. When my people learn of our true origins and abilities, they will be glad to join themselves to the gray. My sci-fi loving people will gladly make first contact with the gray aliens. You see, the problem with my people is that they thought gray meant God, as in religion. My people rejected the falsehood of all of the religions, but they didn't know that hidden in the Torah was a message to them from the aliens. If they had ever conceived of that notion, they would have and they will love the gray. They just never looked at the Torah because of the religions associated with it. Now the tables turn on society. The truth becomes known, The lowly drug users become the saints, and the high and mighty government and religions become foolish, powerless mortals who must now pay for each and every one of their horrific crimes. Of course, the guilty will protest when they realize that everything is the opposite of what they've always believed. The war on drugs will be over because the true nature of the matter is seen. The society and their police force will be unable to continue to violate the rights of the people, now known of as Zion. Because the nature of war is for battle, and no one wants my people to defend themselves or to go on the offensive, the war must end. Because as a nation at war, we are well within our rights to return on our enemies the battle. By declaring a war on my people, the governments have provided my people with an have have encouraged my people to imagine acts of war. However, I will never allow my people to wage war except purely in defense. No citizen of Zion will ever attack. But be warned, we will defend our rights, our families, our friends, and our possessions. No one has the right to use violence. Neither the Gray nor I will ever condone violence. But everyone has the inalienable right to defend their freedom when confronted by an act of war. The tactics of the police are further explained in this chapter. We are told that it only takes the words of a narc or a neighbor to put a Zionite in jeopardy. There doesn't have to be evidence of a crime, just the accusation of illegal activities. This accusation will allow the police to knock on your door to search for reasons to imprison you and steal your possessions. There is no justice in laws that violates your rights based on someone's accusation. But Zion is redeemed and established by the judgment. She defends herself and her people exactly for their use of marijuana. Isaiah describes exactly how marijuana is used. It's grown in gardens, it's allowed to become dry, it's rolled up like a rope, and it's set on fire using a big lighter that sparks when you flick it. Isaiah has such a sense of humor that he asks, "So what do you say to that?" Try to interpret this in another way. The poor will believe it. Ishi and the Gray are the founders of Zion. My people are told to do as we have always done. Get high, listen to rock music, realize the truth of drugs, and the war on drugs. The Gray made the people of Zion exactly as they intended us to be. We have only to change our name. Claim your place in the family of Israel. Accept Abraham and Sarah as your most ancient ancestor. Be proud to bear the name of Zion. You are priest of Israel. Your drug use is your calling. Your musicians are your teachers. Your captivity, the conditions of your birth. This is our right as Zionite Jews. The Gray promised to be here to help us. They will comfort us. They will help us convert our wasteful use of resources into sustainable resources. They will help us realize our true potential as a people and as a nation. We are blessed. We are reminded that the wicked who rule over us are not acceptable to the Grey. The passing of unjust laws for the purpose of doing harm to the innocent is not acceptable to our Creator. They will not deal with anyone who is so wicked that they attack and condemn without cause. So the righteous who use drugs and stumble around as if they were drunk are told that their days of being subjected to the infamy and robbery are over. Now that they have joined the Grey on high, they will enjoy the best blessings, while those who have abused them without cause will pay for their crimes. It's time to stumble around high with the joy of being Grey, free to party at last. God, the Grey, go on to tell us that the human Greys, who use drugs, were created on purpose to reject all of the known religions. The Grey find the human concept of God to be so wrong that they reject every religion on earth. I could write a book on this subject, but all that matters is that the Grey can't work within the confines of human religious concept. They had to create someone outside of the established system of religious beliefs. That is why it is so necessary to create in us an aversion to religion. In order to know the Grey as very long-lived mortals, we had to reject the all-powerful, immortal deity known as God. Greys are aliens, not God. So we Zionites had to reject the false definition of God as so the true alien race could emerge. God goes on to explain that the tender plant is the tool used to contact the God. He is a tender plant. He is rejected by men. Well, the plant is despised. Those who use it are caused grief and sorrow. He, Grey, can be found through marijuana. Just as the humans despise this plant, so they have despised those who use it. Through the voice of God heard only after using marijuana, my people are subject to the hatred of everyone else. But it is only those who use drugs that are subject to such affliction. God is pot. Pot is God. God is Grey. Grey is pot. Pot is Grey. All who use pot are Grey. Marijuana is the source of the voice of God, of the Grey on earth, so that a plant becomes the God. He is a tender plant. God truly is pot, marijuana. In this way, my people obtain God, but it is a living God. There is no idol in Zion. A plant is the focus of divine union. When we get high, we are telepathic. We are with God, where God lives. We ascend on high. The way we are treated by our enemies is a direct result of their ignorance and arrogance. The idol worshippers who control this society believe themselves to be saved. They preach the return of the Grey, but their God is not real. When the true God comes, they will find themselves in dire straits, because the Grey will not save them. The Grey will save us and reject the holier-than-thou people who treat my people so badly. May the Grey watch over you, guide you, protect you, and keep you from all harm, and may they teach you right from wrong. May your thoughts, words, and deeds reflect truth, good, and light, the unicorn way, and may you Find your joy and pursue it. Stay happy. Hi. Love you. Later. Never say goodbye.